cost you about 2 million naira to change your PMS car to a gas, a CNG car. And they started promoting that. The moment the price of petroleum was increased yesterday, so they started promoting that today. More like CNG. Go and get CNG. If you want to, you see, for example, if you want to drive your, to fill your tank, your car from Abuja to Lagos, it may cost you up to 100,000 naira to fill your tank. But if you use a CNG, it will only cost you 10,000 naira. Yeah. So they are like promoting that now. So everybody's now saying, it's true. Others are saying, hey, those people where they tell you, say, it is cheaper to use a CNG sort of cars. I haven't really seen much of CNG cars anyway, okay? So it simply means that professionally, the cars with using gas, they have installed the old gas, they built it for gas, this and that, Abi. But in Nigeria, they will pack 2 cylinders of gas, put it. You know what actually made me laugh there is what somebody said that, you see, if you see the picture, I'm going to try and get a picture of a CNG in Nigeria, okay? So they will put 2 cylinders in your car boot. Number one, you probably won't be able to put anything else in the car boot anymore, okay? So they'll put 2 cylinders there for you. Now, somebody said, in this Nigeria, where crazy people the road, maybe you are just there in the traffic, or you're slowing down in traffic, and somebody just from behind just say, whoa, it's you from behind. Omo, adieu papa nìyẹn, adieu sister nìyẹn, ọ̀pàdé lẹ́sẹ̀ Jésù, níbi tí a kò ní yára wa, a ó ríra wa, a lè yọ̀ mọ́ra wa, Jésù ni yóò ṣe chairman wa. You get what that means? Ikú nìyẹn, because with the level of what you have in that contraption, these guys are trying to make it look like, petrol is going to still be very expensive. If you want to save yourself, it is better to go and convert your car that Oyibo build for petrol, I mean for diesel. Then you go convert them to gas. So I saw a video of a soldier somewhere. They said it's a conference, and he's talking about, listen to this. They said Nigeria have 36 billion barrel of crude oil, and Nigeria have 42 trillion cubic of gas. It is better all of us just turn to gas, Jerry. If we cannot not afford the petrol anymore, but you will not be able to afford it anymore, they mean, right? No, we could turn to gas. So they sent this guy to one regional summit, right, to go and talk about gas. I saw the video. I said, I'm going to share it with us. You may understand what he's saying, okay? But I don't want to be a pessimist, right? A pessimist is somebody who is probably like, I can see through the whole shenanigans. So if the country that is an oil-producing country has now made it almost impossible for the people of that country to be able to afford, number one, you can't refine your own crude oil. Now they are making it more like you can't even use it anymore. So here you get, so it's going to be another alternative for you. And they are promoting that so much that some of you, in your mumu mind, they believe them. By the time they are done, right? Anyway, listen to this.
Thank you very much. Admiral Enrico, the head of the Italian Navy, distinguished heads of navies, my co-panelists, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. First, I must say that already this symposium is bringing out new concepts that I really never thought of before, and I'm glad to be here today. I feel honored being here today to speak on this topic, preserving the underwater, the secure and sustainable use of the underwater. I consider this topic appropriate particularly at this point when nations are making efforts to expand their blue economy, which involves sustainable exploitation of resources in the marine environment, including fisheries, hydrocarbons, as well as other activities like maritime transport, tourism, among others. The African Integrated Maritime Strategy recognizes that the underwater holds enormous resources crucial for advancing Africa's blue economy. But while harnessing the ocean economy, we must preserve and protect the environment. In this regard, the responsibility of securing Nigeria's maritime environment is statutorily vested on the Nigerian Navy. My remarks will therefore reflect on Nigerian Navy's perspectives as it relates to preserving the underwater resources for sustainable use and economic prosperity of our dear nation. Specifically, I will discuss our maritime area of interest, the shared responsibility to secure this maritime environment, and our efforts at combating threats in the maritime environment, as well as our future perspectives. Nigeria's maritime area of interest stretches beyond the 200 nautical miles exclusive economic zone. We recognize that the Gulf of Guinea presents a heritage of shared responsibilities and mutual expectations. Consequently, our maritime area of interest encompasses our internal waters, the territorial sea, the exclusive economic zone, and the entire Gulf of Guinea. This vast maritime space constitutes the Nigerian Navy's operating environment. The area has enormous underwater resources and serves as a medium of seaborne trade, which accounts for over 85% of Nigeria's trade volume. It has a teeming aquatic species and a reservoir of non-living natural resources. The Gulf of Guinea is also among the most fertile hydrocarbon provinces in the world. Nigeria has over 36 billion barrels of crude oil reserves, and over 182 trillion cubic feet of gas reserves. These underwater resources account for a substantial percentage of our gross domestic product and foreign exchange earnings. Now, in line with the United Nations Conference on the Law of the Sea, about 60% of the oceans are outside the national jurisdictions, which implies shared responsibility for preserving and securing the underwater. The interconnectivity of the seas also compels collectivism in global strategies for enhanced maritime security in order to preserve underwater resources for safe and sustainable use. This is the reason why the African Integrated Maritime Strategy sought to foster increased wealth creation from Africa's seas by developing a thriving blue economy in an environmentally stable manner while preserving underwater resources in a secured environment. Similarly, the vision of the ECOWAS, that is the Economic Community of West African States Integrated Maritime Strategy, is a prosperous, safe, and peaceful ECOWAS maritime domain that will allow preservation of underwater resources for environmentally sustainable development and national prosperity. Both the ECOWAS and the Africa strategy ought to be driven by navies to satisfy the security component as a precursor to the attainment of the economic component. The recognition of this shared responsibility has been the impetus for various collaborative efforts to address maritime security in Nigeria and the region as a whole. Prominent among these is the 2013 Yaoundé Code of Conduct, among other initiatives. Now, I look at Nigeria's contemporary threats to our underwater resources. The contemporary threats impeding sustainable use of Nigeria's underwater resources include illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, sea robbery and piracy, smuggling, oil.
He has no job.
I know you probably just listen to what is talking about. It is part of the GPT that they are pushing, okay, to make you believe that if they ask you to choose between 160 something trillion cubic gas 36 billion crude oil. Which one would you say is the future? Gas. So everybody should forget about crude oil, Jerry. Let us start talking about gas. So that when you cannot afford a liter of petrol, they can put this gasoline, this cylinder in the back of your car. So that, cars that were built for, what do you call it? Built for gas. I'm sorry, built for petrol. You can now possibly just put gas into it. So one by one, all of them go just go like a perfume, Meanwhile, Tinubu,
they bought himself
a brand new bulletproof 1.6 billion naira Escalade. He did not buy a CNG Escalade. He bought himself a 1.6 billion naira bulletproof PMS Escalade. 1.6 billion, 3.2 billion naira. One for himself, one for shitty man. This one will get a cylinder for back. So imagine that you are driving in Lagos. I want downfall without brake. You and your family. Number one, where are you going to put all your load anyway? So you're going to find somewhere else to put it, okay? So one downfall without brake. Just one use it to stop in downfall. Right? But bah! Since you won't be able to afford petrol. Why, by the way, this issue of petroleum in Nigeria is not about cars or buses alone. It's about businesses. Yeah, all of the businesses that are operating on, alternative power supply. Oh, okay. You probably just have to go and use solar energy or solar power. God damn it. So Atifku tweeted this earlier and said the haphazard and disingenuous approach of the current administration to fuel subsidy management has been the reason we are in this current economic crisis in the country. As things stand, there will be no let up in the escalating inflation rates, which is drowning the material well-being of Nigerians. It's even more worrying that T-Pain is undisturbed by the hardship in the country. Who is T-Pain? Olu Tinubu. So, I don't know how to kind of describe this to you, okay? But it is pretty much like, if I can put it like, you are effed up, including those of you who probably still have money. I'll keep referring to those of you who believe that you have money. I can afford it, even if they sell a liter of petroleum for 5,000 naira. God is on the throne. I will still be able to afford it. In that your selfishness, okay, you are about to discover the truth, a very tough one. You will understand the meaning of inflation, hyperinflation, and what else do you have out there? Multi-dimensional poverty. You are about to understand what it means. So with Tinubu's wife, Rat, advising all of you to stop blaming her husband, and give him extra 2 years, and you will see the work that he's doing. So some people are now saying, like that, Twitter, like if you see some of these northerners who were shouting Muslim tickets, we're so proud about their Mumu tickets. Few months to the election there, right? Majority of them are now saying they don't think Tinubu want to go for second term. As if to say they were the one who actually made him the president now. Some people are still deluded that somehow, it is their election or their vote that make Tinubu your president. That level of delusion is something I'm working on right now. I'm doing a research on it. I wanted to understand that level of delusion. But you see, Renu, this brilliant lady, good enough, she's left Nigeria herself, now lives in the US. Omolomo. They nearly killed her during the answers. Remember, Renu? So when people were wondering that, how call one thing do her? Oh, she put out something. According to her, how would Tinubu manage to convince Una for second time? Number one, it doesn't need to convince you. But I love the fact that she put together all of this, right? She said, he will tell you what he told you before he won in Koto in 2023. And what did he tell you in 2023? Nothing. Because if you remember, most of what we picked from Tinubu's supposed campaigns in 2023 are one.
I don't want to sit here and reveal all my strategy. I am the first speaker among the three of us running. So they will spy on me. So you will have a limited answer here today. Another day you can bring me back. But that's part of what I do.
2.
All classes, you know what they call F level? When you get failure in all the subjects that you take. F9, F8, F9, F8, FF. Double F.
And 3.
If we reduce the purchasing power of the people, we can further slow down the economy. Let's widen the tax net. Those who are not paying now, if it is inclusive of Bola Tinubu, let the net get bigger and we take in more taxes, and that is what we must do in the.
And 4.
That transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn.
And maybe 5.
And we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and the other thing. Take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, agbado, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand as consumption. For over 5 million army of boot camps, we create our food. That's money for the farmers. That's consumption for the soldiers and skill development. Don't call them illiterate. Don't talk about illiteracy. Anybody who can own gun, who can handle gun, who can cock gun and clean the chamber and cock and shoot is technically competent to repair a tractor in the farm.
Or maybe this one. 5.
If we lend ourselves to innovation, we can create wonders. Here is a successful, again, a town hall, different from Bulaba.
Lava. Or maybe this one, 6. Especially for the
great youth of Nigeria.
Great.
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 Greatest,
yo. Or is it that time they ask him to test the microphone if it's working? And Alaye begin to kiss him. So what exactly do you think he told them during that charade? So nothing. Then Reno went on to say, his team will concoct a propaganda folder of achievements and a good hashtag, we rise again. People, when they try to pretend that they are suffering now, they will latch on it. Then APC stalwarts in the East will form a coalition, Southeast for Tinubu second term. Then APC stalwarts in the North, Arewa stand behind Tinubu Shetima. APC stalwarts in the Southwest, Tinubu and Konsi, they will refuel their anti-Igbo rhetoric in key states, Yoruba land. They will reignite the hate the Igbos. That one will come back again. Most of the people who were promoting that a year ago or a year and a half ago, they will come back again. Right now, under the wire, most of them, they are quiet. So they will be back. And the new ones who are fighting for soup, all these ones, you get one of them who actually, the guy that sang the song we listened to on Mayegun's Diary Political, you know him, right? Yeah, is such a disappointment, by the way. But me, there's something I believe in. Everything that has a beginning always have its own end. Here you guys, not karma, not but everything that has a beginning has its own end. So when you see anybody that think that because they have social media influence now, they could ride, okay, on the APC-sponsored tribal hatred in the name of defending Yoruba because of Tinubu. They will tell you that they are not doing it for Tinubu, but they are doing it because of Tinubu. And this is what has, sort of led to this upsurge in this hateful social media rhetorics right now. So they will be back. Some of them who are new recruits, they will be back, okay? However, they will pay traditional media massively to distort messaging and interview loyalists to keep Nigerians busy. So Channels Television, Arise, and some of these platforms, right? They will begin to interview Tinubu supporters, loyalists, who will be talking like a talking heads when that time comes, okay? So they will devise some medium of economic relief around the election to shut critics and encourage loyalists, since we know get sense, according to our rights. So which means they will begin to share money, share food, give contract to some people that will begin to speak nice by 2025, 2026, okay? Then you see the known and unknown columnists will spring from dark corners to extol the government. Yes, you begin to see, when you buy newspapers, you begin to see some known and unknown columnists writing about how Tinubu has been doing so much to try to bring back the glory of Nigeria. Nigeria is tough. It's not that easy. Give him a time for second time. When he do second time, it will finish the whole problem, okay? It will finish all of that. Then, she said, unleash fictitious youth groups, civil society, to push narratives of acceptance. You begin to see different groups, like the youth for Tinubu, Arewa youth for second term, the Christian Association of Youth, Islamic Association Youth, Elder Forum, group, you begin to see some of them again, right? to show that he's accepted. They'll be endorsing him. Social media will be rife with now dormant, faceless accounts to attack, misinform, disinform, and distort facts. You'll see them begin to kind of lie to your face. They'll begin to say things on social media that you'll be like, oh God, man. Right? Then you will see key voices will return to sitting on the fence. These key voices